I'm Krystle. I've loved dolls my whole life. I collect everything from porcelain to cloth, American Girl, neonates, and real care dolls. But my favorite is to collect and make reborn dolls. There's Chloe, Grace, Jeremy, Maya, Yuki, Savannah, Zoe, Haley, Landon, Maizie, and Joshua. It isn't easy keeping up with my collection, but it sure is a lot of fun. Hi guys, I'm here to do Twin Tuesday, and we're twinning with Maci over on My Reality with Nicole. The link will be in the description of this video. And it is my Maizie that is going to be twinning with her cousin Maci. And they are going to be wearing these white and purple checkered footless sleepers. And the color is white with a scalloped edging, and it's got turquoise, purple, and pink and yellow flowers on it. And the bottom cuffs of the feet, like where the feet go on the legs, they have the same print as does the cuffs on the sleeve. And then this is a zipper sleeper, and it is the two-way zipper, so you can either zip it from the top down or the bottom up. And then there's that little flap with a snap that goes over at the top so that the zipper doesn't rub on the baby. I like when they do that. And then it has this beautiful applique of a little light gray bunny with a white snout kind of area, two little pink cheeks and some whiskers, and her floppy ears have that same white with the flower print of like the purple, turquoise, pink, and yellow flowers. And I'm going to pair it with some warm purple socks for her because it is actually really cold today. So I figured we would do this twinning outfit before it gets super duper cold, to where I would feel like my babies would be too cold in these. So we're going to get her out of her Halloween costume finally. Harry Potter, her Harry Potter costume. I'm going to take off her little knee highs. This past week has been a whirlwind of emotions. I think it was in my last Twin Tuesday video, I believe, where I mentioned there was some family drama going on my dad's side of the family, and that it ended in my dad saying some incredibly nasty things to both my sister and I. I'm not going to get into all the details. It just basically started, well, basically my dad's the one that started it. And it started with my sister. And then my sister obviously, you know, told me what was going on. But I wasn't going to let it interfere with, well, you know, for those who have been around my channel for a long time, you know that I've talked about the fact that my dad and I, we don't have a close relationship. It's a long story, but anyways, it's just how it was. He didn't live with me growing up, and anyways, but whatever relationship I did have, I, wanted to keep up. So, I was just sort of like there to, support my sister and be a sounding board for her. And obviously we both grew up with the same dad. Like we're half sisters, same dad, different moms. And, we didn't get to see a lot of each other growing up either. And so, we didn't really get a chance to have a close relationship either, because we just didn't see each other that much growing up. But I think that's changing now. We've always known that we both felt the same way growing up with our dad. And so anyways, I've been there for her to listen to her and whatever, but I wasn't planning to like get fully involved. But then my dad pretty much got me involved and basically asked me he basically asked me how I felt growing up, because apparently in his whole thing with my sister finally told him how she made him feel when she was growing up. And so he emails me and asks me if I felt the same way. And I've never ever told him how I felt, because I just never knew how to bring it up or how he would react or what. And, you know, I've had people over the years say, like, have you tried talking to your dad about it to see if, like, you guys could have a closer relationship maybe, or blah, blah, blah. So anyways, when he asked me this, I thought, wow, like, maybe this is a chance for me to finally tell him. And maybe, you know, he'll finally start to realize that, you know, things could be better. And maybe he would make things better. Well, that didn't happen. He didn't react well to what I had to tell him. Even though I was literally pouring my heart out to him. And I was being honest with him in a gentle way. I wasn't yelling. I wasn't being mad. I wasn't being nasty. I just was simply stating how he made me feel and how I always wished that he had fostered a closer relationship with me, and that I'd hoped that, you know, hearing these things, as hard as they might be to hear right now, that they might help us work toward the type of father-daughter relationship I wish I could have with my dad. But he just didn't seem to get it. He kept getting upset. And then for some reason, I don't know why, for some reason he thought something I posted on Facebook was about him, and it wasn't at all. It was actually about an ex-friend of mine as well as an ex-boyfriend of mine, that I was raising awareness about, like, unhealthy, abusive relationships. But for some reason, he thought that it was about him. And then he sent me the most nastiest email ever. He became a complete bully. He said things to me that it was repulsive. It's things that you should never hear from a parent. And it really hurt me. And then a few days after that email, I got word that my grandmother on my dad's side, basically my dad's mom, I got word that she was very sick and had taken a turn for the worse. Now, she has been dealing with health issues for the past 4 years. I mean, like, she was relatively healthy. What happened was she was having trouble where she was swallowing and she was choking on her food. And she went to specialist after specialist, and no one could figure out what the problem was. No one could help her. And so over the past few years, she has been literally, like, starving away, because it got to the point she had to puree all her food into almost baby food. And I'm going to get a head wrap for Miss Maisie here in my closet. I will keep telling you my story. And it just got to the point she had to puree all her food. And then more recently, it got to the point that she could only manage having Ensure drinks or Boost drinks or whatever. And guys, that is just not, you know, it says those things are a meal replacement. They are not. They're like a supplementation. So anyway, the last time I saw her around just in the new year, she looked so skinny then. She looked so skinny then, but apparently she I don't know, basically people were saying they didn't think she weighed any more than 50 to 60 pounds the past week, and she suddenly had chest pains, ended up at the hospital in the ER, and they turned her away. They told her that they couldn't really help her, they couldn't see anything wrong, and that due to COVID, they could not keep her at the hospital to monitor her. This is a big issue with this COVID, is that people who have other ailments are being neglected and not getting their treatments. And I'm going to do a whole other video on that because I've dealt with it myself with my lupus clinic, and I am fed up with it. Like, I am pissed. That's a whole other video. So anyways, they sent her home. That was on a Wednesday. And then on Saturday, she ended up back at the hospital because she was getting worse. She was basically starving to death. They brought her in. They ran some tests. She was there overnight. By Sunday, they had said she was dying. There was nothing they could do. And they sent her home. She wanted to die at home. So they sent her home with a hospice end-of-life package. And that was on a Sunday. She came home on the Monday afternoon because they couldn't even get an ambulance to take her home till the Monday. So she sat on a stretcher in the ER for over 24 hours. They brought her home, and on Remembrance Day here in Canada, November 11th, she passed away in like the wee hours of the morning. I think it was like around 3:30 a.m. to 3 a.m., 3:30 a.m., somewhere around there. She passed away. So that was very hard news because, I mean, again, I wasn't that close to this particular grandmother because she was on my dad's side of the family. And so because I didn't see him very often, I didn't see her very often. But anytime that I did spend with her, she was the sweetest, kindest lady. And she had such a large family because I forget how many children she has, but my dad has a lot of siblings. And then everyone had kids, so she had tons of grandkids. And then now those grandkids have had kids. So it's such a big family. And guys, like, she was so used to always having some kind of visitor over because of how large the family is. And because of lockdown, she became so depressed. And I believe it contributed to her condition, making it worse. Therefore, she may not have died, like, she may not have actually had the coronavirus, but she is a byproduct of the virus. I believe she died from being depressed by not being able to have visitors, and it made her already unstable condition worse. And this is another big problem with it that I'm really having a difficult time with, because yes, I understand we need to protect the elderly, but you also have to realize that the elderly are already near the end of their lives, and there's so many other things that they could die of. And to think that there's so many of these elderly people that are just dying alone of other things, not of the virus, but of other things, and not being able to have seen their family and say goodbye. Like, this is ridiculous. So anyways, I was very sad to hear the news. And then it was like, you know, on top of, like, getting that news on top of all this family drama that's been going on that has, like, hurt me so much. And made me feel like an abandoned kid all over again. Because my dad had basically, in that email that he bullied me in, he pretty much wrote me off. He pretty much said he never wanted to talk to me again. He unfriended me on Facebook. He said he was writing me out of his will. And he just said, goodbye, have a nice life. And it was like, what the hell just happened? Like, it was so, I mean, he trashed my singing. he trashed my Facebook posts, like saying that my Facebook has no substance. He tried to say that, like, my sister and I only think of ourselves, and that, like, when was the last time we did anything for anyone else? Whereas, like, I literally do stuff for people all the time. I give to charities. I sponsor a child. I've been sponsoring children through World Vision since, like, 2005. I'm constantly fundraising for things. I donate toys to the toy drive at Christmas. I donate to the food bank. Like, I have even, as a nanny, I have even had to throw myself in front of a car to keep the car from hitting the kid. Like, I do stuff for people all the time, and so for him to, like, say stuff like that, like, it just hurt me. Like, I know it's not true, but to hear this from your parent is horrible. And he was like, I don't know what the heck happened to your singing voice, but your singing sucks now. And it's like, you know, again, it shows he doesn't know me. He doesn't know me well, because if he did, he would know that I'm very depressed about the fact that my singing voice is not as good as it once was, you know, many, many years ago before I got sick. It's because of my illness that my singing voice has been affected. And it's just another thing in my life that my illness has taken from me. It's taken from me the ability to work a full-time job. It's taken, and then thus taken the ability for me to have kids. It's taken from me the ability to have a house. And it's taken my singing voice. I can still kind of I can still kind of sing here and there. My voice comes and goes, but it's nowhere near what it used to be. And I've been depressed about that for years. I tried speech therapy. I tried so many things. I went to, like, an ears, nose, and throat specialist, and they just basically said that I have dysphonia. It's caused by the steroid inhalers. It's caused by my weakened lungs, because lupus has attacked my lungs. It's caused by stress from my illness, and it's also caused by, like, medications that I take sometimes too. As well as, like, sometimes lupus can affect your vocal cords. I've heard of it. So it's like all these things combined is just, like, against me. And to hear your own parent, like, literally become a schoolyard bully on you when you were bullied, like, almost half your childhood in school. And let me tell you guys, bullying stays with you for life. You know that saying, sticks and stones may break your bones, but names will never hurt me? That is bullshit. Because if you have ever been bullied in your life at school, I was bullied from kindergarten to grade 4. And all the names that those kids called me over the years stay with you. They stay with you. And I am constantly fighting those voices in my head telling me that I'm stupid, telling me that I'm mental, telling me that I'm the R word, telling me that I'm not good enough, that I'm ugly, that, you know, like, I hear all these things in my head, and it's a constant struggle with my self-esteem every freaking day. So, PSA, the people out there that say sticks and stones may break your bones, names will never hurt me, that is bull. And so having your parent basically do the same thing to you that you went through, like that traumatic experience in school, like, it got to the point I didn't want to go to school because I was terrified of the bullies. So this video took a turn. Sorry guys, I just needed to vent. I didn't plan to go into all the details, but I mean, I didn't go into, like, all the specific details. There's so much more to the story than that, but I just wanted to give you the generalized thing of what's been going on. So it's been a week. It's been a month of all this crap. And then when my grandma passes away, my dad suddenly is acting like nothing happened. He kind of said sorry and that he needs me in his life, but then we talked on the phone, and his basic excuse for the things he said was that with the internet and with email, you can say things to people that you wouldn't say to their face. So in other words, like, does that mean he didn't mean the things, or that he's sorry for saying the things? Because it doesn't sound like it to me. Like, that sounds to me that, oh, I just didn't have the guts to say it to your face, so I said it to you in an email. That's how I took it. He also claims that the reason he doesn't call me that much is because his long distance charges are too expensive. So in other words, it's not worth spending the money to check up on his child, is how I took that. Anywho, so that's what's been going on, and I'm just really bummed, like, with everything, and I'm so confused about everything, and I don't know how to navigate this going forward. Because he's now kind of acting like nothing has happened, and I'm just kind of like, I just don't know what to do moving forward. But that's kind of what's happened with that. And I guess I will just have to play it by ear and see. But I put myself out there. I kept telling him my main goal for being honest with him about my feelings was in the hopes that it can repair our relationship and help us move forward, and like, so that he can realize how he can make things better, and like to basically tell him what I need from him as a dad. But I don't think it's clicked. I don't think he's got it. I don't think it's going to change. And so I just don't even know if I should continue trying or not. But anyways, here's Maisie. Sorry for that rant. I just had to get it off my chest because it's been an emotional roller coaster. But anyways, guys, my grandmother's funeral is tomorrow, and of course with COVID they could only limit a certain amount of people, so they're going to be live streaming it, and I'm going to watch it from home to be on the safe side, because I haven't seen my dad's family in a while, and I don't know how safe they've been with things. And I did hear that when my grandma was home that people were coming in droves and no one was wearing masks, so I'm a little nervous to go in person when I don't know that people have been safe. So I'm going to safely watch from home online, unfortunately, but at least I can see the service. It's probably going to be very sad. She was a very, very wonderful lady, and my heart goes out to the whole family because it is a huge loss. It's a huge loss. But at the same time, from what I heard, she was suffering a lot, and, you know, she was 87, and it's her time, and at least she isn't suffering. Like, I can take comfort in the fact that she's not suffering. So anyways, it made me think of my grandma on my mom's side and how much of a role she played in raising me and how much I miss her. And I'm sad that I haven't been able to see her at all since like February. And I really hope things get better soon so I can see her. But I gave her a call the other day, and I think I'm just going to make a point to call her at least once a week, and maybe try to schedule some more Skype sessions with her so she can actually see me and I can see her. But this whole thing, this year has been the worst year ever, honestly. Like, it's just one thing after another. And as I've said before in videos, like, we had so many things break down this year. It's crazy. First we had our humidifier, our crock pot, our blender, our dehumidifier. What else broke down on us? Our car. We had to get a new car. And now my printer has broke down on me. Like, that's 6 things this year that we've had to replace. Like, everything's breaking. The virus, family crap, like, it is just, and then my jobs, like losing jobs and stuff, like, it's just ridiculous this year. Ugh. But I am going to get ready to sign off now because yesterday I put up our Christmas decorations. I decided to do it, well, I thought I was doing it early because I usually wait until after the Santa Claus parade, which was canceled this year. But for some reason, I thought that if it hadn't been canceled, it was going to take place next weekend. So I thought, oh, I'm doing it a week early. But then I realized, no, the Santa Claus parade would have happened this past weekend. So I'm pretty much on time. But anyways, I got my decorations up yesterday, and then I assembled the tree and shaped it all last night. And so today I will be decorating my tree. And I just always get a lift in my mood anytime I get my Christmas stuff out. Like I am a huge Christmas person. I think it's because I was born in December. I'm a December baby, so I love all things Christmas, and I just feel completely elated, joyful, peaceful the moment my decorations are up, and the moment I start listening to Christmas music. It's like all my worries melt away. So I am looking forward to getting to decorating my tree. And that's it for this video. I hope that this video wasn't too depressing, but I had to get it off my chest while I was here. But here's Maisie looking adorable in her cute bunny sleeper from her Auntie Nicole. Please click on the link in the description of this video so that you can go to Nicole's channel and see her Maizie sculpt, who she calls Maci, M-A-C-I, and she will be twinning with her cousin. All right, thanks so much for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time. Bye!